What's going on? Today is a good day, and that is because it's the opening day of bow season here in the state of Georgia. So I got the bow, I got the camo, got the golf cart. Let's hit the woods, go get us a deer. One of the things that I absolutely love about hunting with this golf cart is that I'm able to just sneak back here without making hardly any noise. That and the deer know the sound of footsteps. They know what people sound like, predators sound like. They don't really know what wheels rolling sounds like. You know, it's something. It's just not a threat. Especially when the ground is wet like it is today. There's no crunching, just little squeaks and nuts and bolts. It's so nice. So as you can see, it is not opening morning. We had a tropical storm come blowing through, and I was up at 5 o'clock in the morning, took showers, getting ready to get dressed and head out, and the rain hit. So being that it was raining, I wasn't going to sit in a tree stand, and this ground blind that I'm actually going to hunt right now is on the far side of the property, and it's really just not a good spot to go to in the morning because you have to traverse this whole 45 acres of woods that I'm hunting to get to it, and I don't want to do that in the dark, shining beams of light everywhere and just making everything aware of me coming in. So here we are. We're gonna hunt that same ground blind because there's a chance of rain still. Everything is wet except for the nice chair that I got inside of there, and it's in a good spot. So yeah, missed out on opening morning, but I think and I hope it was a good decision. My release is on the golf cart. So the price of those Tasco cameras is spot on. I mean, you're talking $25, $30 for a trail camera. And for the most part, they work good. But every now and then, they don't work. So when I should be browsing through thousands of photos right now, I got 0. So I don't know if it's the card reader, the SD card, or the camera itself, but I'm gonna take this SD card back to the house and check it over. But I have seen some big deer on this camera, but it was a month ago, so we'll see. But it's fairly early. I got time to kill. I got a thermos full of hot chocolate coffee, and I'm just gonna hang out for the afternoon. Got about 4 hours of daylight, and yeah, this feels good to be back out here. So I'm hunting a small drainage here, and it's really nice because the deer use it kind of like a highway. You can probably tell when I was coming in, but it's 15 yards in front of me, and just cutting across at an angle, and it's just a prime spot. I got bedding behind me, feeding area with a bunch of white oaks out in front of me, and this drainage that they're following. So this is the spot to be today, I think. We'll find out. So I haven't had any sort of feed in my feeders since October, November of last year. I've really just been running mineral blocks, and one, it's been a lot cheaper. Two, I've only seen about a 10% reduction in the amount of camera or the amount of photos that I get on camera. And lastly, I mean, if I'm still getting deer moving through here, just coming and visiting a mineral block, and it's nearly as effective as, you know, having a feeder running, why not give it a shot and, you know, save some money along the way and get in less arguments on Facebook with the guys that are sitting on the edge of a alfalfa field or cornfield. But yeah, they're not unknown for food. So I'm unsure whether or not the rain was going to hit. Sure enough, it did. This ground blind was a good choice. So I'm just going to hang out here. Hopefully the deer up, moving around, doing their thing. It's been wet the last couple of days. They got me hungry. So at least this covers up noise, gives the woods a little bit of movement. You know, water splashing the leaves and trees and stuff like that. Hunting in the rain is probably some of the most productive hunting that you can do. And unfortunately, a lot of guys sit it out. But this is what ground blinds are for. This is why I keep them out in the woods. Yeah, I didn't hunt this morning just because of how I got here. But this afternoon, regardless of what the weather's doing, is a good afternoon to hunt. So suck it up and get out there. Get your ground blind to make it a little more comfortable, and hang out, sip on some coffee, keep hunting. Well, I can't see my pins anymore, so that's a wrap for the first hunt of the year. But we're gonna try again tomorrow. Opening weekend, day 2. Now, I'm out here about 1.5 miles down the road, and I am going to my 4S Everlast food plot on this one. I get a lot of doe action during the afternoons, and I'm kind of indiscriminate on the first weekend. I will take a doe, I will take a buck. As long as they are mature and healthy, that doe's going home with me. So I also got a little bit of 4S straw left in the bag I'm going to throw out there, and we're basically hunting over a clover plot, and you'll see more when we get there. So before I walk into this plot, I am going to check the trail camera, and right now I don't have any deer. Alright, let's keep going. You know, other than the poison ivy that tends to grow up this tree, I'm a big fan of this stand. And it's really nice just being tucked in this little 3-tree nook. Provides good cover. I got an open view, but it's not too high. I mean, I can move around a little bit. I just have break up in every direction. And I'm hunting over a fantastic food plot, so it doesn't get much better than this. So if you've been following along my channel, you'll know that there's a couple different videos that I have on planning this food plot. Now I have, you know, the original planning. I have some maintenance videos, but I encourage you to check it out because I am a low maintenance kind of guy when it comes to food plots. I don't have heavy equipment, tractors, etc. I did all this with a 4-wheeler and a 0-turn lawnmower. So if you're looking to start putting in some of your own food plots, but you don't think it's doable with the equipment that you have, go ahead and check out those videos, and I'll go ahead and put a link in the description or put it on that screen or somewhere along this video so that you can find it a little bit easier. But it is 5:45. I got a little bit of a late start because I had a poor connection on a battery terminal on the golf cart, and I started smelling some smoke while I was going down the road, so I had to turn around and wire brush it down and tighten up that nut on the on the battery. Anyway, you don't care. It's I got a late start, so I need to shut up, start hunting. So my guess is that little guy probably lost his mom. So typically those yearlings, I mean, she, I think it was a small button buck, still had spots on its hindquarters. But typically you'll see those young deer come prancing out kind of carelessly, and you're followed up with a group of does. Well, that's what I was raising my bow for, not that deer. And it's pretty easy to tell which one is the mom or not. Typically I will not take a doe that has a yearling with it, and it's pretty easy to tell which one is the mom, not only by the way that they interact with each other, but you'll see her udders on the backside if they're still nursing, which typically they are, but they're pretty much weaned by this point. Now, is that doe going to be fine if I take her, or is that yearling going to be fine if I take that doe? Absolutely. Do I like doing it? Absolutely not. So that's for you to make a judgment call on. Personally, I leave the does with the yearlings alone, but usually they bring a friend with them, and that's what I was hoping for. But we still got a lot of daylight left, so I'm going to be quiet, be still, keep the camera rolling. Well, that's it for opening weekend. Cannot see my pins, so it's time to pack it up. So I'm back at the golf cart, and I was thinking about a couple things while I was sitting in the stand, and this is, the bottom line. There's going to be weekends or hunts or weeks or months that you're not going to kill anything. And the reason I like posting videos like this is because it just shows the reality of hunting. Now, the first hunting show that I ever saw where they didn't kill anything was one of Steve Rinnella's Meat Eater episodes, and I was like, this guy goes out and makes an entire episode, doesn't kill anything, doesn't even see the thing that he's looking for, and he's still able to make a TV show about it. And I thought that was really cool, and it really just displays the fact that you're not always going to be successful. A lot of these guys only put up content when they're successful, and I kind of had that idea in my head when I started making the videos, but I wouldn't have any content to make if that were the case. I spend so much time in the woods, and a lot of this footage gets deleted. But here's the thing, every year I have a full freezer and I kill big deer. Now, I'm not talking world-class bucks, but I'm talking good deer. I mean, ranging from 130 to 150 inch bucks consistently every single year. And I'm not saying that as a flex. I'm saying that because I have a method, and it's proven to work year after year after year. And here's the method, and I guarantee you every single wife, fiance, and girlfriend is going to hate me for saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway because it's true. You need to spend a lot of time in the woods. Now, yeah, there are tools that make it so that it's more effective, like cellular cameras, etc. But it doesn't matter how well you trend a deer. You're never going to kill it. You're never going to see it. You're never going to have an opportunity at it if you are not in the woods. And on top of having those opportunities, the more time you spend in the woods, the more you're going to know about the woods that you're hunting. The more time you get in and out of your tree stand, you're going to learn how to do it in the daylight. You're going to learn how to do it in the dark, quietly, quickly, and most importantly, safely. You're going to know all the little creaks and squeaks and tweets and all the noises in the woods and what they mean. You're going to learn how to read the woods, whether it be the squirrels, the birds, and ultimately the deer that you're hunting. You're going to pay more attention to game trails. You're going to see where the deer are traveling, what corridors they're using. And to be honest with you, only about 10% of the deer that are coming through that area are getting on trail cam anyway. So what you're seeing from the stand is a much broader picture of what's actually happening in the woods. You could have deer consistently moving through an area that you're not getting on camera, but you're seeing them every time you sit in the stand. Well, maybe your camera's in the wrong spot and you move it. Maybe you're in the right spot and your camera just happens to not be picking up the pictures. Who knows? The only way you're going to know it is if you're sitting in a tree stand. But ultimately, I just want to talk about my approach to getting to a point where I experience success. And that's what I want for every single person that's going out in the woods. So if you take anything away from this video, take this away. Spend time in the woods, be observant, pay attention to what's going on, and practice. Get to know the woods, get to know your gear, get to know your spots, get to know the wind, get to know the sun and what it's doing, because all of that plays a major role in the final outcome. Pay attention to the small details, and by paying attention to the small details, the big things will fall into place. So, thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, and I'm looking forward to showing you the rest of the season, because I have the rest of bow season to come. I have gun season and a bow season following that. And I'm excited to share what happens throughout that process. See ya.